Heels fans, the season finale is finally here, and you got the two late night brothers. That's Jbirdy,
Kaka.
AD.
It's me right here. Read
You know what
that.
I'm saying?
Or that.
Where'd it
Mention
go?
it.
Jbirdy, the Kakai CEO. We here. We here with our review of episode 8, the season finale, Stars Heels. Birdie, initial thoughts of the season finale?
I thought the episode was pretty good. I would say an 8. We got the most wrestling we did all season.
Yeah, it was a long wrestling
You know,
session.
snippets of like 3 matches or so.
Good.
Um, there's a lot of questions were answered. Like the farm was a wild scene. You
Yeah.
know, I think Willie's gone. I think she gets written off the show, unfortunately.
Or I think she just goes to FWD and her role is less significant.
Maybe.
Yeah, I agree. Especially because she showed her the farm that
Yeah.
is like the signifier she's probably leaving.
Fake receipts. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, we knew some shady. I mean, they mentioned it, but we knew some
Yeah.
shady shit was going on with King Spade and how he was running the DWO, how he was keeping the DWO in the family. But I do enjoy that the wife is Stacy's taking interest in like trying to
Yep.
fix it because remember last episode ended on a powerful note when he was like, I hate him. You
Yep.
know, like really coming to terms with what his father left him with. The bird and I mean like obviously he loves the DWO and he
But it's a
fucks with it,
burden.
but it is a burden. And especially now, is it like if they're really trying to take it legitimate, this becomes even more of a burden. If they just kept it how it was, they could probably just they just learn the system, finesse it. But like
Yeah.
for the DWO to actually grow, I think that this is a necessary step. And you know, Wild Bill had one of my favorite parts of the episode, and we'll get to that a little later. But he said something very, I think, important for Jack. I mean, obviously we see how the episode ends, but when he said you're a professional, he's like, you know, the bell rings or the bell rings and finishes. You're a professional finally. You know,
Yep.
and I think that was a big thing for Jack. Like this is something he grew up with, he loves, and like for him, I mean, you know, they kind of hinted at it also in the previews leading up to the episode, but like season 1 when Ace was getting the chance for the big
Yep.
time, you could tell how it really affected Jack because that's his whole life, you know.
Yep.
But
Shout out Crystal in the all white.
yes, shout
In the
out
all white.
Crystal. Hey, DWO champion. She's a star,
Yeah.
bro. I love what her character is for like the DWO and FWD. Like they both see what kind of I mean,
Yeah.
either one, wherever she works, and I do like how even Gully was kind of like even telling Willie how he's like if she wants to make appearances at the DWO, I don't care. Like I just know that this is good business and I need to be a part of it, especially with the continuum deal. Now we did get insight, which all right, as a whole, I agree with you in terms of maybe a 8, but like a 8-1.
Yeah.
You know, like it was a good episode and it made me feel things, but there was a lot of things where I was like, this could have been a 2 more episodes. You give me 2 more episodes, and
Yeah.
the story would feel complete. Like the continuum thing doesn't feel like there was really any questions answered because like
No,
how
but
it's
her reactions in the crowd were the questions being answered.
no, but I mean like they are planning. I mean, we called it in our
Yeah.
predictions, but they're planning to merge these two companies and make them
Without
work
telling them.
together without
Yeah.
telling them. Yeah, they're gonna sign both of them and put them together.
Yep.
And they didn't really see that coming. Like they didn't. I feel like neither Gully or Jack have that in their mind. Like you know, the whole theme of this episode was them. This is their final time working together. You know, Gully already
Yep.
signed the papers to relinquish the lawyer shit to really. Now you know it was a good point where he was like, "No, when the bell rings, then we shake hands. But until then, it's not done. Like we're not done."
Yeah.
Which, but again, the continuum thing, I wish even after like how it ended was powerful and really good, but there was some more story for the season finale portion of it that
Yeah.
I kind of needed as a fan, you know.
Unless they're waiting for season 3, man. Never know what season 3 will bring us.
Yeah, I now I do you remember how many episodes season 1 was?
7.
Was it a 7? All right. So I was wondering, I was like, it feels like they had more episodes and they cut him.
Yeah.
Maybe because of the strike, they shortened the season. But yeah, I mean, especially with last episode, like we were kind of down in our last review. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. Now that Heels is done, do us a favor, watch all our Heels content because you're gonna
All
be
of it.
missing. You're gonna miss it until season 3. You need some filler. We'll fill you
Yeah.
up. You know what I'm saying?
Watch it now, rewatch it before season 3,
You know?
Then when season 4 comes out, watch the season 3 reactions,
Yep, yep, yep.
and so on and
100%.
so forth,
I do
Uh,
think we will get season 3.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the show's too good, man.
It's a great show. Yeah, but the Wild Bill heart attack thing,
All right.
you know,
Before
the,
we get to that, let's get to his speech in the office. How'd you
mhm.
feel about Wild Bill's speech to Jack right before the big dance?
um, I like anytime that they give him a monologue, anytime they give Wild Bill like a one direction conversation, he does a great job.
Yeah,
And there's only two people that know more about what they've been through with Jack's dad than anybody, Wild Bill and fucking Willie.
yeah.
So whatever he says to him, he should just take it to heart. Nothing should bounce off of him. I did like that he had the match with Diego too. That was cool.
Oh, yo, the tag
The
team match.
tag team with Diego.
And
Yeah.
I love that they won it.
Yeah.
And it like Diego got his shine, and Wild Bill was there pushing it like, "Hey, take it
Mhm.
all in, young buck." You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, really, really like their relationship. I would love to see grow in season 3 because it's kind of that mentorship. Because
Mhm.
obviously Diego's really tech savvy. I mean, you just see that by him doing all these different things. But I like how Wild Bill really is acknowledging him as a peer and not just
Yeah.
But again, to Wild Bill's to me it was a really good speech, and they had it released it before the day the episode dropped, so I seen it before, so kind of like softened the blow a little bit. But I love how it almost feels like Jack wrote the wrongs of his father when it
Yeah.
comes to Wild Bill, right? Like
Yep.
that's all Wild Bill wanted was to be a part of the family. And when he said, he said, "Thanks for being a great friend." He's like, "Thanks for letting me be a part of a family." Like you
Yep.
could feel that because again, Wild Bill, since we've seen him, has been like kind of lost off of his purpose. Like he's older now. He's not the star he was. I mean, he's still a star, but he's not what he was. And this is giving him that rejuvenation now. Fast forward to towards the end of the episode, they have the hint of him having heart problems and feeling something in his heart. You think I thought they were gonna take him away from us this episode. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna hold you.
I don't think there's a heels without Wild Bill.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard, man, because he's brought a lot of soul, like a
Does
lot
he
of like
die and donate his spine to Jack?
that's good writing right there, brother.
Right
Bring
there,
him
dude.
in, bring him in the writers' room
Spinal
because that's good
transplant
writing.
surgery.
All
You
right,
know,
we have to. I don't know if I think he does die, or I also had a thought, like obviously the initials, like he's gonna die, but I also had a thought like this keeps him out of the ring, right? Like, and it changes his lifestyle because he's already making changes for
Mhm.
who Wild Bill was when we first met him. But in terms of lifestyle changes, we haven't seen him like eat healthy, not be on painkillers. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
there's a different road you can take it where he doesn't necessarily have to die, but he does continue this role as like quote unquote not. He's like the emotional leader for them.
Yeah. He's just changing his ways as a person.
Yeah,
You know.
and continuing to help them because man, imagine he does die and like again, we just mentioned Diego and his character's relationship. What does that do for Diego and like his journey?
Yeah.
Like while Bill dies, do we really care about Diego doing a podcast with anybody else?
I
Probably
love
not.
Diego.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad he won, bro. I really did. I really did enjoy that because I was like, damn. I thought FWD was gonna take all the wins, and then they gave it to
Yeah.
Diego. I was like, all right, thank God.
And Crystal.
Oh, what do you think about Crystal's match? Fire, huh?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, that
Yeah,
backflip off the rope was great.
yeah, hard.
The double flip. Not as crazy as a shooting star press, but you know, rest in peace, Jack's back.
So, so the final. Let's before we get to Jack's back before we blow Jack's back out.
Dun.
the, the final match was Rooster versus Kandan, and then they again shows how great Jack's writing is. All of FWD's people come through, basically jump him, tie him up to the ropes like he's Jesus, which again works to the storyline. And then Jack comes out and shows he's been working with Gully the whole time, which to me was like, all right. So I kind of when I started the episode, I kind of like you know how you, like when you hit the bar,
Yeah.
you can see images of like what's happening. So I went to the end. I didn't click it, but I went to the end to see like how the match was, and I saw Jack and Condemn laying on the ground. So I was like, damn, Jack's gonna act like he's been working with Gully. So I kind of like put it together. But if I didn't know that, great writing. They have their match, Condemn versus Jack. They basically say if Jack wins, that he's gonna burn the DWL down, blah blah blah. And they have one of to me the best match of the year, in
Yeah.
my opinion. Like it really was. Like it felt like what they built up all year, right? Like
Hmm.
we knew this match was coming, but it felt like that big build up paid off.
Yeah, but
And
we didn't know that match was coming.
no, I mean like the
Yeah.
actual like
Oh yeah,
FWD's
absolutely.
champion versus DWL's champion. Like
Yeah.
we knew that match was gonna be the end all be all of the season. We obviously we didn't know it was gonna be Jack and Condemn. And again, their moment beforehand when they had, he was like, you bring that up, I'm gonna punch you in the mouth. You
Yeah.
apologize again, I'm gonna punch you in the mouth.
Oh
Um,
man.
so
Oh,
that made the end of it a little
when the
better.
commentator goes, "Oh my god, I wish this was fake."
Yeah, I caught that too. I do
Yeah,
like that dynamic
yeah,
because again, every episode felt like the DWL
yeah.
production was going up because it felt like they were like it felt like they took you out of the show and made you feel like you were watching a
Yeah.
broadcast.
Or when he said he sold the company to FWD, and she was like, "That's not true, is it?"
Yeah,
And Stacy was
he
like,
stays like, I don't know.
"I don't know. Stay tuned."
Hit him with the kayfabe,
Yeah,
could
yeah,
be. Yeah, I felt like the match itself was great. The atmosphere was good. I like again. It feels like they did well. They did well this series or this season at least of like bringing somebody in that hasn't been to the DWL before and like giving us that experience of like what it's like being at the DWL for the first time multiple times. Like they did it with the Continuum guy. Now,
uh-huh.
obviously, the main lady. There's like different moments. I mean, last season when Stacy's friends
Oh
like
yes,
came through, you remember that? Like
yeah.
they do a real good job of like making the audience feel what those
Absorb into
people.
the story.
Yep,
It
exactly
makes you
that.
feel like what's happening is like really happening, and they settle their beef with wrestling matches.
Yeah, or even like, even like when Crystal's like giving her her heel speech, and
Hmm.
like, and the lady was like, "I don't know why I should be rooting against her, but I love her."
I love it. Yeah.
Like,
Oh
yeah,
man.
and
Oh,
then
how did you feel about the flashback, the dad flashback?
it's just the dad being a dick again. You know what I mean? Like, it was
Yeah.
good, and I like.
I mean, he wasn't wrong.
No, that was a fucked up part when he said, "I told you." When he
Yeah.
saw his dad in
Yeah.
the crowd, he said, "I
In the
told you."
crowd.
Which is it's fucked, dude, because it's like the dad obviously I don't know how to explain it. Like it seems like he really cared about them, but also like it was like he was being real with them, but also being a dick. Because I mean, obviously Jack could have did it. Now I'm curious though, because when the flashback scene, Jack had the foam pit.
Mhm.
Did it one time. The dad talks to him, tells him, he's like, "That's not your gift. Your gift is writing." Which
Yeah.
again, the dad knows these things. Like the dad is well seasoned in the game, and I feel like at that point, especially when he was about to like take his life, the dad like saw the potential of like what Jack's writing could be.
Yeah.
Right now, he gets back up after the dad leaves, like as if he was gonna attempt it again, and he didn't. Now I'm curious. Like, you think he practiced it on his off time?
Has he done it since then?
Yeah, like because to bring it out in the match kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like because at least the way you left the flashback scene is like he got off and was like, he's right.
Yeah.
Like my father's right. I'm not gonna do it. So to me, it's like again, Willie said the best thing. It's always something with these boys, like this family. It's always something.
Yep.
You know?
IRL, that's how Brock Lesnar broke his neck in the wrestling ring.
Yeah, that same move.
Shooting star press, and he spiked it into the dude's side. He spiked his head right into the dude's side. Kurt Angle, actually.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll show you that after this. I'll just run the clip real fast of it. He hits a shooting star press and spikes his head into Kurt Angle's side, and just there was some cool wrestling jargon in this match. Like when he tells Ace, he's like, "I go home, little brother."
Yeah.
That means finish a match. When they tell him that, that means time to finish up. Like the last, let's hit the last move.
Yeah, I enjoyed that part because that was like what you were telling me. When you explain wrestling, like you're like they're talking to each other, they're communicating what
Yeah.
they're doing. That was like, I mean, we've seen it a little bit every so often, but that was like a very
Yep.
step by step. He's like, all right, well, I'm gonna do it off the top rope, blah blah blah, and then he hits him with that line right after he does that. I thought he was gonna do the fucking move off the top, and I was like,
Yeah, me
nah.
too.
I
Me
was like,
too. I was like,
no, bro, this is
oh,
not it. This is not it. On the floor, bro. No,
yeah,
this is not it.
yeah. Shooting star press, baby. That's a great move.
Oh man, the if they would have ended it how he written, like
Uh,
booked it, and okay, so if let me finish that point. If they would have ended it like that, it would have been a wonderful episode. Now this gives it more storyline because obviously the DDO, they're out of there. This
yeah.
was this was a show. They're getting signed, whether they have to work with Gully or not. They're getting signed, and there's going to be more eyes on them than ever. Now you saw when they were outside, or they
Uh-huh.
showed outside the stadium, and how many people were there.
Yes, that was
Nuts. That
crazy.
was awesome. I was like, fuck yeah.
They're gonna buy the DWL, and Rooster's gonna come to the DWL.
He's gonna come back, yeah. After
Yeah.
that, yeah, the way they ended it. But I
Yeah.
like how he was like,
And then when he
it's
hit it, he
always
was
something. And
yeah.
then he hits it, he goes, yeah. He's
Yeah.
like,
Uh, yep, and then he doesn't move.
oh man.
He said, "Get up." I said, "No, you get up." I can't, dude. Get up.
So there was foreshadowing. So I watched the Wild Bill. So after the episode was done, I watched the Wild Bill part again. Because that was to me, that was the best part of the episode.
Yeah.
Like I really enjoyed that part.
The
But
mom's dialogue. We got some dialogue
oh,
with the mother.
yo, she gave like real good perspective on like what her relationship was like or what it felt like towards the end of it with King of Spade. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. But it really gave like Ace the whole episode like that. He was just like, "Oh, I'm just here, man. It's just a wrestling
Yeah.
match." Like
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know. But
Ace,
going back,
Ace as the nurse with the old man.
yeah, and watch them die. Yeah, that was a good part too.
Listening to throw
Big,
shit at him.
yeah, I mean, he said, I had to vigorously rub my mouth. Um, but watching the Wild Bill part again, he said specifically like finish the show how you booked it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like finish it how you wrote it. And Jack didn't. And I think, that's another like one of those foreshadowing moments.
Oh.
Like he added that one extra move.
Wild Bill knows what he's talking about. Like
Yeah.
he knows when he tells you things. I've been to the big dance multiple times.
Yeah.
The script is perfect. Go
Yeah.
for it.
He's like,
Everybody wins. You get over, even though the dystopia gets over. You as the wrestler gets over for beating him, the condemned, who everybody in the crowd wants is like their guy.
oh.
You know.
And like Ace said, we could just write another story tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. Not anymore. I mean, I gotta see what happens with spinal injury.
I mean, again, his strength is writing stories. It's not necessarily wrestling. It's not that he's not a good wrestler, great wrestler, but his real strength is in the pen. Now, there's gonna be a dark time, I do think. Now, also, I thought think about how the first episode ended with Ace on his back,
Oh yeah.
and we thought he was gonna be hurt.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. Off the hill, off the cliff.
Yep, and he
Mm,
healed immediately. No
yeah.
pun intended.
No, but yeah. Is somebody coming in and out of the Discord right now? It's crazy.
I'm not even in it, dude.
The kid's making that bloop noise.
I'm not even in it. But yeah, man. I mean, like when I saw that, I thought about it. I was like, oh shit, like Ace. That's how the first episode ended with Ace on his back, just like that. And again, in that moment, Jack's like, I like how Jack didn't tell him right away, but
Yeah.
that's what got him to get up. Was
Oh, he
like,
had to get up at that point.
he's like, I can't, like, I cannot.
They could have ended on their back like
On
that.
the draw,
Kind
yeah,
of like
right.
that. Yeah, it would have been nasty. That'd have been crazy.
That's what I thought was gonna happen. But obviously, I feel like it made the moment a little bit more because how Ace's mindset right now, as opposed to last season, he really is like, this is just a wrestling match, and I love doing this.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's the end all be all. I think that's what the episode really like portrayed.
He
And
said,
he even
Jack,
said,
thank you.
"Thank you, yeah, thank you for letting me wrestle."
Let me wrestle, yeah. Saying I can wrestle.
Yeah, I mean, again, that closes up their, their tension that they had. I mean, obviously they did that in the hotel. That really like solidifies again. And then Jack saying like, "You deserve to win. You deserve this moment right now." And then he hits him with he's like, "I'm hurt." But when he gets up, you just see him staring back the whole time. No matter what, like he like in his head, or at least I took it as like he's just thinking about like this nigga is really fucking shot right now. Like,
And then Gully, fuck you, Jack.
yeah, I'm gonna
Fuck
kill
you,
you. I'm gonna
you
kill you,
son of
Jack.
a bitch.
See
Yo, he
that?
gave. Well, I thought Willie was gonna bounce the bread.
Yeah. Oh, both bags.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
thought
think
you were
she.
just gonna
To be honest, I
slide.
didn't think she was gonna give it to Crystal.
No, I thought she was gonna slide.
He gave her, bro. I counted. I think it was
50
like
racks.
six. Oh, you saw 50? I thought I saw 60.
Yeah,
That's
50 racks.
still like off the rip, 100
Yeah.
racks in little
Yep.
fucking pencil bags and shit.
Yeah, he said, if you sign with me, here's an advance. If you don't, I know where you live.
Oh
You know, are you gonna say anything? Any words you want to utter to me?
man. Nah, he's really good too, though.
Yeah, Gully.
Gully's character, I like, and this is what I said earlier in the season, but I do like when he's around.
Yeah.
Like he just because he's a dickhead, but he's like very smart, very calculated, obviously business minded, but also very funny in what he's saying. Like, and it's almost like unintentionally.
Well, he reminds me of the bad guy from Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Nah, I don't remember that. Like the cartoon Alvin and the
Oh,
Chipmunks,
the movies.
the movie. Yeah, I don't remember
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
that. Put him in down low.
Put him
Yeah,
in
man.
the-
But all right, so final episode 8 season finale rating. You said 8.8.
Yep, 8.8.
Yeah, I'll go 8 point. I mean, I had a great time, so I'll go 8.4.
I like that the series ends with us with more questions. To be honest, like they want us to have a new season.
Yeah, yeah. The writers are going for a new season, 100%.
Yep.
I like that because it shows confidence in what they're doing. They could have easily ended it where it's kind of like everything's bookended and you
Yep.
can kind of just
Rush
end it
it.
right there. But like if this ends now, I mean, we've seen what there's Heels fans out there. It might not be a massive show right now, but there are Heels fans out there. And
Mhm.
if it ended in a way where it was like too perfect and there wasn't implications of the season 3, I think fans overall would not like the season. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
I think it would it would have negatively affected the overall season. But
Yeah,
with
because
that
now
being
people want
said,
to know what's going to happen next. What's
oh
going to happen
yeah,
with his back? Is Willie going to stay around?
yeah.
You know, is anybody going to get to jail? Find out in the next
If
episode.
Wild Bill's gonna die,
You know, yeah.
you know. All right, but with that being said, Birdie, overall season 2 of Heels, what were you feeling on the season, man? What would you give the season overall?
7-7. I feel like it was rushed, but most of the story got told. Like you said, a couple more episodes would have been cool. Even one more episode would have been cool.
Yeah.
You know, I think if they give us a wrestling match on an episode, like that whole episode as a wrestling match would be hard. Like
You think
the
they can
match,
pull that off?
yeah, like the
Like
match,
storytelling wise?
like the episode is filmed as a match, and like as if you were like sitting at the commentator booth or whatever. The camera bounce around to the commentators, to them wrestling for like 15-20 minutes. It's hard.
Yeah. I think it's just hard because there's a lot of like I think Heels works with the story development. Like
Yeah,
but again, that could be a good idea for an episode going forward. Because again, like when they do, I mean, when the match starts, it feels like you're watching. It feels like you're in that environment, like
yeah.
you're watching the match. So if they can hold that and sustain that for a whole episode, that would be a fire episode. Like, but it would have to be like something of this magnitude, where like it's like a crossover event, or like there's
Mhm.
because they did well with like the multiple matches. Because
They did.
it didn't feel like it was like any match was too drawn out or like too short. It felt like each match like played out perfectly for the story, you know. So like that's a good idea though going forward. Like if they did do it and they pulled it off correctly, like you got to give them major props of like having an episode like that.
We're definitely gonna be in the crowd next season.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Keep
They
your
bringing
mellow.
us out to Duffy.
The
We're gonna be
Duffy.
we're gonna be Duffy strong.
That's it. Duffy strong, Duffy
Then
weak.
but then we can't do this episode if they're still on strike.
They won't be
Okay.
on strike because they can't write anymore.
I wonder if they have something written.
Oh, who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows?
All right, so 7-7. I would give it like an 8-1 Like it was a
Yeah.
great time. There was only one episode, and it's not that I didn't like the episode. I thought the episode was okay. But there's only one episode where I was like, kind of bored. Throughout the episode, like it wasn't as great. But every other episode to me, I felt like I left the episode like, wow, good writing, good story, kept me engaged, kept the content good. Like I think every episode we did of our review, and if you
Mhm.
haven't watched it, check out the playlist. I'm gonna put it up there. But I feel like every episode of our review, we were like excited after the episode to like record, especially the ones we watched together. You could tell like we were like, oh shit, like it was a good episode. So I say 8-1. Let's give them. Let's give. Unless we do a separate video, we'll do like season 3 predictions. We'll just give them one prediction at the to close out this episode. One season 3 prediction, Birdie. What do you got?
I think we're gonna see a match between Jack and his father.
In heaven?
No, like a flashback match.
Oh, like at the DWL? You think
Yeah,
they
at the
continue the
DWL.
flashbacks?
I think so.
I think so too. I think
Yeah.
they like. I
I think
think
the
this season may.
flashback. There's like a bunch of gaps there of like flashbacks of like way before the father killed himself.
Yeah.
You
Oh
know,
yeah, 100%.
or
But,
unalived himself.
but also on a lot, yeah. But also you can fit flashbacks from those time periods that fit like the moral of whatever story
Yeah,
they're telling
that's
that
what they
episode.
do.
Yeah. I think this season solidified the flashbacks as being a part of what goes
Yeah,
on
the
because it's
flashbacks are just showing you that Jack is going through the same stuff that they went
it's
through previously,
and
and
how
how
he's
he's
handling
doing
it.
things differently than his father is.
Yeah,
I but bold series prediction, the whole series ends with Jack offing himself.
that would be nuts. The parallels would be crazy. That would be nuts. You think they would do that?
You know, and that's how it ends. This the whole series.
Yo, his reaction.
And his
I mean,
son gets out.
yo, if his back is fucked though,
Yeah, he blows his brain out, and his son walks out.
season over.
You know,
Heels,
he'll spin
fiend,
off
fiend,
faces, baby face.
faces, baby face, and his son starts running the DWL because they got it correct.
Yeah.
Yo, bring us in the writers' room.
He uses he
Jbirdy
uses
AD.
he uses Jack's life insurance.
Yeah, crazy. Now, I think next season they will fix. I think they'll fix a lot of the past problems of like
Mhm.
what King Spade did, money wise,
I
and
think that the company Continuum or whatever,
takes care of it.
they're gonna take care of it all.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so as well. Because again, you saw how many people that shows. I think our correction. I mean, I don't know if it like advanced as much as we thought it might have when we did say, but the quality and production of what the DWO was putting out from last season to now, and from the beginning of this season to the end, and like the interest of people, you think about it, last season ended where like they were kind of like on a down, you know.
Mhm.
This season ended where like, bro, they had people on the front lawn outside of the DWO, plus the packed house. Like shit was, it felt like the
And it
county
was probably
fair.
a pay-per-view.
Oh, and no, he said I don't. He didn't say what it was streaming on, but he said we're live streaming from Duffy Dome, whatever. When he started the broadcast, so I don't know what they were streaming on. Maybe they were. It would have been dope if they were streaming on the Continuum app because it kind of gives them that even more
Yeah.
push. But
But they're not signed there yet.
no, and I did think that too. Like I was like, they got the podcast. They got to be streaming these matches somewhere, right? Like on YouTube. But
Yo, what if
yeah,
they did like an episode a podcast with Diego and Wild Bill?
yeah, we're like half the episode. That same episode. To be
Yeah.
honest, you can start it as
Or
a
they do a
podcast.
podcast every episode, recapping the episode.
Ooh, the last
Like
match.
Yeah, like Wild Bill
Hard.
and Diego do a podcast,
Yeah, that's hard.
like
That's
a
hard.
show about their podcast.
Yeah, that's hard. But all right, man. Let's end it here. We're at the 30-minute mark. Yo,
I'll take it.
shout out to everybody who watches every episode of our reaction. I mean, the
Thank your
channel.
mother.
Yep.
You know, she gave birth to you. You know, we're not your father,
We're not your father, but we could be.
but we're not.
But we're not
As far as the paperwork says,
legally. Legally, we're not.
or illegally. You know, thank you for all the comments on this series. Thank you for all
likes.
the likes, the
New
support.
subscribers.
You know, shout out to the couple cast members that were in our comments. You know, Young Wild Bill.
Yes, sir.
You know, Diego. Sorry, I can't remember you guys.
Ramos. His last name's Ramos.
Yeah, Mr. Ramos.
Yo,
And
I'm
then,
about to pull a Wild Bill and shit on stream.
yeah, Young Wild Bill.
No, dead ass.
You
All
know,
right.
shout out to him. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think this really gave us a direction of where we can start taking the channel at least, and it gave us confidence because we saw what our first couple episodes did and how the numbers continued to grow throughout the season and still growing. I mean, episode we haven't put out our this reaction yet, but our last couple episodes have still been growing. So thank you again, and we will be here if they have season 3. We might do top tens of our favorite moments of heels. We might do season 3 predictions, and we'll be ready. If there's any news, we might come with some updates. So
leaks,
uh,
updates, leaks.
yo,
You
hit
know,
us up, Young Wild Bill. Let us know if you know something.
comment down below what show we should review next.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, it's the Late Night Boys, Jbirdy, AD.
Yeah.
We out this bitch. Sleep on it.